One of the most influential names today in this generation of ours, and actually in human history, is the name of Abraham. Abraham is a man whom Judaism, Christianity, and Islam all claim as their patriarch. You could also say they claim him to be their founder or their father. Amen? Mm-hmm. So in this chapter today, chapter 17, God changed Abram's name from Abram to Abraham. And he also established a covenant of circumcision as a symbol of their covenant that is between Abraham and God. And right now, as we're going to be studying today, Abraham is about 99 years old, and his wife Sarai is about 89 years old. 23 years ago, 23 years ago have passed, since till about now, when God promised him a great nation. We studied that in our previous episodes, that is episode 15 and 12, where God specifically indicated the promises to which he had given to him. Now, God had, one of the promises that God gave Abraham were that he would bless him, would make him a great nation, but also that he would give him the land of Canaan. Yes, that would give him the land of Canaan, not only him alone, but also to his own descendants that would come after and through him. Amen? Yeah, so 23 years later, Abraham grew wealthy, really rich. He attained a lot of wealth during those 23 years, some of which he received from Egypt. We studied that earlier on as he went to Egypt, and the king, gave him a lot of, bride price through his wife, Sarai. But also God appeared to him several times during the 23 years. For the most times, he was to restate and expand on the initial covenant promises. So still, at this point, Abraham still has only one son. And not through Sarai, but through a servant maid, Hagar. We studied about Hagar in our last episode, 16. If you missed it out, please pick it up on our YouTube channel, or you could actually scan the QR code on your screen to have the details there. So at this point, Abraham and Sarai, likely they assumed that God's promises and blessings would then pass through Ishmael. And I mean, can you blame them? After all, they're 99 years old. Sarai is 89 years old. At this probably, and at this point, they've really gone past the wind of conceiving or bearing children. So probably they're thinking, hey, whatever promises God has got for us, they're probably going to be going through this young man called Ishmael. At this point, Ishmael is about 13 years old. And that is from last episode when Hagar gave birth to this young boy. So God appeared to Abraham, and again, he commanded him to walk with him and to be blameless. Another word for blameless is to be perfect. That he would be the father of nations, and Sarai would also be the mother of nations. Now, to confirm that fact, God changed his name from Abram to Abraham. Now, Abram, without an H, it simply means the exalted father. And then Abraham, that's the complete name that we are very familiar with today. It means the father of many nations, or the father of multitude. A sign of keeping this covenant, he, that is Abraham, was to circumcise the entire household. And this included himself, his own children. Right now he still has only one boy anyways. Those that he bought, those that were born in his own house, literally every male that is in his own compound, but also not only just his compound, also in every generation through him, and that they all must be circumcised. Now, this circumcision is the ritual of the removal of the foreskin, from the penis. We'll study more about that. So, there were those, if you are not to be if you refused circumcision, God told Abraham to kick you out of his, to kick you out of his compound, to kick you out of his life. For that literally meant that you've disobeyed and disagreed with God's covenant. Amen? So God again surprised Abraham by telling him that Sarai's name, that is, Sarai was Abraham's wife, would also be changed from Sarai to Sarah with an H at the end. And that also that Abraham would have a son directly through Sarah. Now, in reverence or in gratitude or in pure surprise, or perhaps all the three, he fell down on his face and laughed. He was, of course, shocked. At the mere suggestion that Sarai, who is right now 89 years old, and Abraham, who is almost 100 years old, would bear a child, So probably he laughed as a result of a disbelief, or probably it was just too much. He was sort of overwhelmed that God will fulfill such a promise. So then Abraham got another thought at this point when God, speaks to him. And in his thought, he was like, how about Ishmael? Probably in his thought, it was like, maybe God should just, fulfill all these things through Ishmael. We are beyond the edges that we can actually conceive or bear children. But however, in God's mercy, in graciousness, he still went ahead and promised that he would bless Ishmael abundantly. God tells Abraham that Isaac, the promised son, will be born in approximately 1 year from today, when we study that. That very day when God appeared to Abraham, he went home and he called upon the entire house. And he circumcised himself first. He circumcised his son Ishmael, and he also circumcised hundreds of other males that were within his company. Amen? Amen. So this is basically the review of chapter 17. To pick up the details, the full episode, please scan the QR code on your screen, or you could also find it on our website. That is www.abdiministries.org. You'll find the entire episode with all the details about today's episode. God bless you.